Morning, everybody. This is a couple days later. We had Memorial Weekend, and we spent some time with family and some time garage sailing. By the way, somebody said the place is starting to look like a junkyard. Well, it's a construction zone. All of this material is going to get used up for all the building and construction here. Actually, that was half a pallet on that fence already back there. So this is going to go away very fast once I start working. We lost almost everything. That tomato lived, and Melanie put those vines in just recently. And this was all tomatoes and peppers. Why one tomato lived, I don't know. Everything else was devastated and wiped out. One chili may have some life in it, but in my experience, once they're waking like that, there isn't much left. That's quite sad because this was a very healthy vegetable bed. Even in the greenhouse, nothing survived. It is incredibly sad. The only thing that survived is some kale that didn't seem bothered at all. Not at all bothered. Kale is the only thing. All my peppers, one might have some life in it. I don't know. One flower might have a tiny bit of life left. The peach tree didn't seem affected though. But it's complete, total annihilation of all of our vegetables across the whole property. We had a deep freeze so hard that ice formed on the animals' water dishes. Thick, actually. It wasn't just a tiny little, it was freezing. And even in the greenhouse, we lost everything. And everything was covered. All of our plants were covered. We had 4 freezing nights, and the last 2 nights must have been in the teens here because it was in the 20s in Lewiston. And people in Lewiston lost their plants undercover. Undercover, they lost their plants in Lewiston. And it was supposed to be 36 degrees. And it was, they said, 28 in town. And it's always colder here than where they are because they got the lakes and stuff. But even over in Atlanta, some people lost their gardens. So I haven't heard about Gaylord yet, but all I know is that it froze. It wasn't just a frost, which is what we always get. Melanie and I have been prepared for frost. You cover your plants and they survive, as long as you cover them. And in a greenhouse, they should have been absolutely fine. But it never got warm during the daytimes, and then we had a deep, deep freeze. We had a winter type of a night. And kale is all that survived in any of our vegetable beds up here. In the orchard, the peaches, they got a little bit of weird damage here. Just a little bit of weird discoloration and damage on some of the leaves. My flowers are gone. Hardly even a sign that they were there. This one looks fine. And my cherry never did really look very good. So it's hard to say anything about the cherry. You just got little tufts of growth at the tops. The raspberries, my raspberries did okay, but I did notice somebody else has the big fat black raspberries that they took some damage. The top sections of all the trees, or all the bushes, froze down. This plant did, I don't know what it is, but it's went into fall colors already. Actually, these did too. They went into like fall colors. That one, that's a blueberry. It really went into the fall colors. The colors turned dark So nature took a hard hit this time. I've never seen a deep freeze like this in the teens and 20s in near July. There's my flowers. They're just a crusty, dried mess. Oak trees. There's another flower, just all gone. The apples didn't seem bothered. This one still has damage from transportation when we brought it home. Oak trees took it the worst. It's all. I don't know if they can recover. None of the oak trees survived. That I have here, and you can see like the fall colors here and there. Everywhere there's a small oak tree, every leaf on it is gone. Every single one. Every single little oak tree is completely destroyed. I know somebody has black walnuts and they're gone too. I just don't know if it can recover from that. One of them was actually dried up and crusty. See, these are all young oaks. Where was that? An oak tree that was actually dried up and crusty. Well, anyway, look at that. There's no life left in that. All gone. The herb bed took a hit. My bee balm might survive because there's life at the tips of each stalk. Yarrow doesn't seem bothered by anything, but everything else is annihilated. There's nothing left. Nothing left at all. The peppermint, oddly, that I put in, they say that mice are not attracted to peppermint. It repels them, but they're eating it. My little apple tree has got fall colors. So I don't know what's going to happen if it triggers a winter or fall color effect. See, they all got fall colors on them. I don't know what's going to happen. Even my herbs, now this is the weird thing. My herbs that survived through the winter got burnt. This was a beautiful green, and it's all got burnt. This one wasn't affected as much, but the oregano, this plant almost got completely wiped out. And this one got burnt a lot. And oddly, the tarragon looks great. My flowers. My lemon balm is annihilated. And that is a perennial. And I don't know if there's anything left down there. And my peppermint, which was doing so beautiful, this was the variegated peppermint that had beautiful greens and whites mixed in. Now it's just all a dark burnt green. There's no color left. I don't know where the whites went. Oh, I see a lot of them are dead. Now that I'm looking, a lot of the peppermint leaves are completely burnt off. Absolutely dead. These ones have curled up ends. I didn't know if it was going to survive. Some of it burnt. That's really sad. Now the catmint didn't seem to care at all. Catmint, it did flop and curl over in the freeze, and then as it got warmer it straightened up. So did the tarragon, oddly. I was out here watching one day and it was bent over and it was just straightening back up. So there's a baby apple, fall colors, a lot of fall colors in the plants. So I don't know what's going to happen to nature this year. I've never seen this happen, to have a freeze. Well, we had a late, see all the fall colors in there? It's starting to form. We had a late start because the We had a lot of freezing, deep, hard freezing, and our plants only just started opening up a month late. And then just as they're budding open, they get a hard freeze again. And like I said, see, there's fall colors. As I said, this was an exceptionally hard freeze. All through here, the only thing that really is doing well is the weeds. This is another herb bed that I have. One of my herbs is completely destroyed. There's nothing left. This was a perennial. I think it was an oregano. It's sad. There's nothing left. I really am sad about that because I've been working on this section. Even the roses got some fall colors. Everything got some dark colors on them from the cold. A larger oak tree. I don't know if it can recover. I just don't know what's going to happen. All the way from top to bottom, all the oak trees around here that were only just starting. You can tell that's just starting to leaf out. We are a month late, month and a half behind. And it was a hard freeze. Like I said, we often get a frost, but not a hard freeze like we got. So I don't know what's going to happen this year with the trees and the plants. We were going to have a lot of beautiful irises. Look, these got crushed down again. They were just recovering from the previous freeze. We were going to have a lot of beautiful irises, and now they're all destroyed. Now, you got to realize we didn't put these in here. It isn't our fault that they're late. Or that, whatever, that they got froze. These are from nature. Look at them all. Destroyed all the flowers. It's so sad. There's only going to be a few. This was so abundant. The flowers this year would have been so pretty. But these grow up on their own when they decide it's the right time of year. And look, all the flowers have been knocked down. All of them. It's so sickening. It's so sad. They were going to be so pretty this year. Now over here, this bed, some of the plants got a darkening and a little bit of burn. The creeping phlox doesn't seem to care. And our raspberries are completely annihilated in some places. Look at that. The top half of every plant is destroyed. So this is a very, very unusual hard freeze from nature. I don't know what's going to happen to the wildlife and to the trees. Everywhere you go, anything that's stuck up higher is dead. All the oaks are, there's one oak tree, surprisingly, that is green. You can see a lot of dead on it. It did take a hit. And all the lower branches are all gone. That's very odd. So interesting, I see. All the lower branches, everything low down is dead and completely wiped out up to here. And only up top did they survive. Interesting. Well, I'll be curious to see what happens this year. Some things made it and some things got hit. What is that? Two birds are fighting. I think they're fighting. Well, maybe I shouldn't show that. Maybe they're not fighting. That got wiped. These are sensitive. And I don't know if that one's going to come through this year. But her chives are spreading and doing very well. Up by the house, our lavender did okay, and our hyssop is burnt. but it'll live. This is the best of all. We lost all of our ivy, which was really growing beautiful. It's all gone. It was, this stuff survived the winter. But obviously, since we removed the straw, it was exposed. It's all burnout. This was all beautiful green ivy, the British ivy. And that was the perennial. It's all here. That whole plant is completely wiped. There's bare patches where the ivy used to be in our garden now. This was a very full bed, and now there's bare patches. The catmint just drooped and then perked right up. And this that's supposed to be an annual is taking over, which is great. It's a good ground cover. Melanie's flowers we did have covered. There's some burnt spots, but other than that, most of the things did okay. Well, that's it, guys. We have to restart all of our vegetables. All of our vegetables are gone. Everything. And again, we're used to this area. We watched the weather report. It said 36 degrees. I said, okay, we're going to be in the mid to high 20s. Let's cover our plants. But I think it was in the teens here, because covering our plants didn't help. Well, that's it, guys. Talk to you all later. We have to restart.